So moving on from sort of your journey from your strongman, you competing, obviously now you do a lot of work with us, modelling, ecom, obviously you're here today. Have you ever found it difficult to find clothes to fit you as a big and tall man?
Yeah.
From back in the day before the transition to now?
Yeah, I mean, especially, it was way harder when I was younger, and so when I was sort of 15, 16, that was probably when it was at its worst, because I was like the same height as I am now, and yeah, it was just almost impossible. I think we had like one main store that sort of, went like nationwide, and most of the stuff they sort of sold was stuff my dad wouldn't even wear, even now he was in his 70s, it was terrible stuff. But obviously, it's always been a little bit of a problem, but now obviously, I'm very fortunate that to be working with you guys, but also on top of that, it's like you're constantly bringing out new stuff, which actually is nice stuff. It's always been a bit of an awkward one, and being a big guy, I think most big guys would say the same thing. It's, you almost sort of were so limited in what you could wear. Yeah. That you'd end up sort of having to, that'll do, that's the best I can get. Whereas it's not like that now. And obviously, your range is so massive. There's stuff there that will fit you nice and will look nice as well. So yeah, it's definitely a lot better now than it was when I was younger.
Is there anything in particular you look for from, like, when you're clothes shopping? Is there anything you go, right, well, I like plain tops, I'm big into like my cut and sew stuff. Mm. Obviously you've seen a lot of our range as it comes out, probably before it comes out, to make sure we get the images for the website, etc. But is there anything you look for?
I mean, to be honest, I spend most of my life in casual stuff, just because I'm in the gym a lot, sort of a lot of my life sort of, I'm at home working on my laptop, or I'm at the gym, and, I just want to be comfortable. So a lot of like trackies and these plain t-shirts are perfect. But then obviously when I do go out, I want something that's a bit smarter, so a nice shirt, nice trousers, always good. Not that much of a jeans guy really, but yeah, I mean, it's it's just shirts that look nice, fit nice, feel good, and and then just the really comfortable stuff that's nice for relaxing in.
Is there a favourite piece of ours you've seen recently? Is it something you like? Well, I know obviously, to be fair, it's hard because you see everything about 6 weeks before it's due in, and then you're in again, so you're probably thinking about the future. But is it definitely the plainer stuff that you're into? Generally,
but then every now and then I'll be doing a shoot and there'll be something that's extremely leery that I'll think, oh yeah, that might be something I'd wear, something a bit different. But generally, I mean, obviously as well, where you're doing the brand stuff as well as BadRhino's own stuff is, the range is constantly growing. So there's normally plain stuff, but every now and then there'll be some really leery shirt that I'll have my eye on.
Which, to be fair, I've been in there when you're modelling, you're like, actually, just let me take a quick picture of that photo.
Yeah, that's
and you're like, you go straight on Instagram and you're like, yeah, that's a piece that you definitely...
That is generally the rule. It's either, if something looks like nice and fits nice, that's generally the ones that I post, so yeah.
And what is your favourite part of modelling with us, or modelling in general? Have you got a particular favourite part, or...?
No, I mean, I think probably it is just literally like seeing some things that perhaps I wouldn't normally wear, and things that I wouldn't normally go for, and you sort of put it on and you think, actually, no, I would wear this, I think generally, I think guys are, will go shopping, clothes shopping, even normal sized guys, will just go in and be like, oh, that'll do, and just grab stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously I have the advantage where I get to try on everything. Sometimes there's things that perhaps I wouldn't like. I sort of look at them and think, I'm not sure about that, but then I put it on and I'm like, no, it looks smart, it looks nice, and it feels good as well. So, yeah, I do have a sort of an advantage in that. That's probably the best bit about it, I think.
With your sort of move into modelling for us, I suppose now not only are you Terry Hollands, the world's strongest man, Terry Hollands, the bodybuilder, but you're also sort of Terry Hollands, model extraordinaire, fashionista. Do you think it's important to raise awareness, being the size that you are, for other people with your size and even bigger? Obviously, we go up to an 8XL.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the most important aspect of raising that awareness for the masses?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, we were always sort of almost, it wasn't like said, or it wasn't, but it's almost, if you're a big guy, you're going to get clothes that are not the nicest. We sort of almost had to accept that. And actually now it's in a position where, and let's be honest, if we all put some nice clothes on and we dress up and everything, we feel good. and obviously that's a big thing with feeling good is a it transfers onto other things in your life. So if you put on some nice clothes, look smart and everything, it's going to make you feel better within yourself.
Yeah.
And it's now we're in a position where not only was it like, oh, I'm a big guy and perhaps I'm a little bit awkward because I stand out in a crowd, but I'm also dressing like in clothes that I really don't want to be wearing, but I just have to accept that that's what there is. Now it's actually like, you can sort of go out wearing a nice outfit and thinking, yeah, I look smart, I look good, I feel good, and it, that creates positivity and makes everything become a lot more positive.
Yeah. Talking about positivity and negativity, obviously some models get praised because, like, from different angles, the normal size ranges, like, they get praised because they use really thin models, or then they get negative because they don't look like sort of average people. Have you received any negativity on the big and tall scale? Has anybody come, well, you're too big to model for us? Or
I mean, I'm not. I don't really pay a lot of attention, if I'm totally honest. But I think at the end of the day, it's real life. There are big people walking around that wear bigger than a 2XL that you can buy in most shops. Now there is a lot of guys walking around that are way beyond that, and the same goes with the women. There's a lot of women that are not walking around that are size 8 or size 10 or whatever. And at the end of the day, you want your models to almost represent real life more, and that's my opinion. So, you do need to sort of open the avenues. At the end of the day, if I see a guy who's 6'1" and weighs 70 kilos and he's a tall, slim guy, the clothes are not going to look the same on me as what they look on him. So it's something that is really important, in my opinion. It's sort of where you can see and go, actually, like, that's sort of how it would look on me, and you do need to represent the masses, and there's not that many people walking around that are just smaller guys that are tall and slim and all the rest of it. It's more relatable and more normal to have that sort of variety.
Yeah, and I think one of the other things you touched on it, like that. I mean, you wear a 3XL in most of that stuff. Shirts are maybe a bit tight around the arm, so you can go up a size, but there's different body shapes and sizes, even probably more so in the big and tall range.
Yeah.
Do you think there should be a standard? Do you think that everyone pretty much fits in them, or do you think, or what do you think? Do you think everyone's pretty much unique, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's unique, and I think it's the same. You could get 5 3XL guys and it'll all be different shaped, but generally the clothes will fit, and there's obviously always things that you can do. It's just getting things that that fit you nice, and often you can. Now we have that option with the bigger sizes. Like you said, some things I wear a 3XL, some are 4, depending on what style it is. And it's sort of that's important as well, to sort of understand that how things fit you and everything else. Some things you might have to go slightly bigger or smaller, but I think we're in a sort of position where it's I don't know how to put it exactly. It's just we've got more options now, and that's the important thing.
100%. Is there any Terry Hollands styling tips?
Just wear what makes you feel good. I think that's probably the biggest styling thing. I think if even if it's something that most people wouldn't wear, if it makes you feel good, then wear it. And it doesn't matter if it's fluorescent green or whatever. If you like the look of it and it looks good on you and you feel good wearing it, just wear it with pride and own it.
Well, you touched on it earlier. It's like an outfit can completely change A, your mood, and B, your mindset. Like you put on some. Me personally, I put on a suit and I feel great because I love wearing a suit, and it's one of them things. And I suppose you're very used to being in your t-shirt, your shorts, your joggers, and then when you put on something maybe a little bit smarter, you're like, yeah, do you know what? Today I look like $1 million. Or
no, I agree.
You want to phrase it.
I agree, and I think that it's always been almost like acceptable for women to be like that. Or society's always sort of women wear a nice dress when they're going out or whatever, and guys it's sort of we never really spoke about it. It wasn't really like something that you talk about. Whereas now it is. I think it's a lot more sort of like you said, I put a nice suit on, I feel good. And I think it's perhaps you know, things have changed and the perception of it. You know, we do have options and we can sort of pick what we want to wear, and you know, there's nothing wrong with sort of sitting there saying, I feel $1 million in a nice suit.
I think that's, again, yeah, I think that's the other thing. Women's fashion has always been, and I've worked in both sides of the industry, women's fashion has always been more options, it's always been more, there's been plain, there's been loud, and it's very much trend led, whereas men's has always kind of been behind that.
Yeah.
But men's is taking a real step forward, and you know, we're trying to create a wave in that ourselves, making sure we've got stylish, comfort pieces. Where do you see that as well? Like you said, when you were younger, it was kind of like, right, I've got to wear what my granddad's wearing, because I've got no options. Whereas now, like you said, there's just more.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, it's definitely improved so much, and obviously, you know, like I said, working with you guys over the last few years, I can see the sort of upward trend in the amount of different variety tops that you're doing now. You know, coming out, obviously, I've become a lot more busy with you guys as it's grown, and the amount of different type of tops and different styles and different designs is you know, it's probably 100 times what it was when I was a teenager. It's so much better, and obviously, you know, you guys are always improving on that as well.